Greetings, everybody. This is Robert Sean Kennedy, your history instructor for Summer 2, History 1302. And we will be going through these a couple of videos just to get you oriented with the course so you are aware of the expectations and how to prepare for this course. It's okay if you get confused along the way. Do contact me if you do get confused. I like to say it's okay to get confused early rather than later. So allow yourself to get confused at the beginning of the semester rather than towards the end of the semester. And this is the purpose of this orientation, to confuse you. No, hopefully it clarifies anything, but the point being, if you have questions, do contact me and I will give you information about contact information. But the first thing you want to do is you want to start here in week 1, July 11th through the 14th. Click here. All the weekly folders are organized kind of in the same way. It'll have a list of day or days with things to do inside them, reading, viewing, taking quizzes, exams, and whatnot. So this week, you are reading the syllabus, you are signing up for CELI, and you're taking the orientation exam. And you need to take the orientation exam after viewing this for the course, for most of the course to be made available to you. So July 13th or 14th, it says you got to take a chapter 1, read chapter 1, take the quiz, and prepare for the lecture for reconstruction. I'll show you how to prepare for that. Please hear me now. The essays, you don't submit them like in a Word document. You prepare for them, and then you take the essays during a timed exam. There are 4 exams that you will be responding to the essay prompts throughout the semester. The exams will randomly select the assigned essay prompts as we go through the course. So please hear that. A lot of students will get very concerned about where to submit these essays. You don't submit them. You prepare for them. I would very much encourage you to type them out completely or handwrite them, and then you transcribe your notes during the exam in the window that's provided with the essay prompt. We'll go over that in a little bit more detail a little later. And then I always have a link here to get you to the next folder, right? Here's the next folder, week 2. But that's all, again, available here. Here's week 2. Always gives you an overview of what to expect for the week. And this is taken straight from the syllabus course schedule. So click here, week 2, and I'll stop doing this. Just want to make sure you're oriented with it. Again, it might have just a day or might give you a couple of days to complete the work in there. And our first exam is July 21st. So be aware of that coming up sooner rather than later. This is an internet online course. It's only 5 weeks, so things move pretty quickly in this course. But anyway, let's get to the syllabus real quick. Contact information. Primarily, I contact with my students through an app called CELI, so you need to sign up for that if you haven't done so. Through Blackboard, you can do it right here through the syllabus. Click here. It'll take you to a PDF. If you click here, you can click this right here, join the course. Basically, it might ask you for some information. Please use your actual name in CELI. Sometimes students will use some very creative internet names. Use your actual name so that way I will be able to identify who it is I'm speaking with right off the bat. Okay, let's see, anything else here? So CELI is required for this course. There is no textbook required for this course, so keep that in mind. You are required to download Lockdown Browser, so please do that. Lockdown Browser is a specific browser for taking exams on. If you need a little more information, right here is a nice little video, about a 3-minute video on what Lockdown Browser is, so please do view that. But yeah, you cannot take exams unless you go through the Lockdown Browser. For quizzes, you don't need Lockdown Browser, but for the exams, you do need Lockdown Browser. All right, you do need a webcam for this course. Most computers come with a webcam, so if your computer has a webcam, great. If you don't have a webcam on your computer, please purchase one. What I have linked there is Amazon.com. You can get them pretty cheap these days, but you will be required to use a webcam in this course to take the exams. Take that off. Don't need that. Okay. The other thing you want to make sure we realize when you take an exam in this course, beginning with the orientation exam, it is highly recommended to use a direct connection, Ethernet connection, rather than Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi intermittently pops in and out, and if you're in the middle of an exam or you're typing up essays, that can be rather problematic. If you have a direct connection, there's very little likely that the internet is going to go out, unless there's a system problem. But if you're using Wi-Fi, you're relying on satellites, and there's all sorts of things that can go wrong when you use that indirect connection. So please, 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 if you do not have an Ethernet connection and you are primarily taking this course from your home computer, please do make sure your internet is as strong as it can be. If that's in any way problematic, you can come to our various computer labs on campus, either at Mid-Valley, Pecan, or Star, to use any of the computers there. But I mean, sometimes students get a hold of me and say that they don't have internet connection at home, and the obvious question is, why are you taking an internet course? But anyway, exams, please take them with a direct connection. Let's see, webcam, you need that. It's good to update your browser. So if you use Chrome, you want to update your browser there. If you use Mozilla, update your browser there. If you use Internet Explorer, don't use Internet Explorer. It has too many problems. It's highly recommended to either use Mozilla or Chrome for most functions in Blackboard. Okay, so the breakdown of the course is that there are 14 quizzes. Collectively, they are 50% of the grade, and there are 4 exams, and each one of them is broken down in a percentage. Total between the quizzes and the 4 exams, that's 100% of your grade. It's pretty basic breakdown of the grade. All grades are based on a percentage, not a point system. It's a pure percentage system. So the breakdown right there is kind of your standard breakdown for any course. Let's see, go through the syllabus, make sure you understand all of the rules, regulations, all of that. Here is a description on the quizzes. Basically, each chapter or chapters assigned has a specific quiz associated with it. There'll be 10 questions. Multiple choice, true, false, fill in the blank. You can take the quiz up to 4 times. Your average score will be recorded. Let me repeat that. Your average score will be recorded. So if you take it once, that's great. If you're happy with your score, you can stop there. If you take it again, it doesn't record your highest score. It records your average score. Keep in mind your no late submissions will be accepted. Now, there's 2 ways to alleviate that. Sometimes you just miss deadlines, and that's understandable. Don't miss a lot of them, but sometimes it happens. At the end of the semester, I will drop the lowest quiz, not apply it to your final grade, in other words. And also, there is what is called an optional final exam, Part 1 and Part 2. Part 1 will just be multiple choice questions directly from the chapter quiz questions. Whatever you earn on that optional final exam, again, it's optional, you don't have to take it towards the end of the semester, it'll be applied to all chapter quizzes that were low scored or missed. So don't panic if you happen to get a bad grade on a quiz and or you missed a deadline. There's ways of making it up. Try to stay with the schedule. That's the surest way to succeed in any course, especially this one. Okay. All right, exams. Note, you must use a webcam and lockdown browser as required to take these exams. And I just put these links here too as well in the syllabus, just so everyone is aware of that. Again, when taking an exam, it's highly recommended to use a direct connection rather than Wi-Fi. Unit exams. At the conclusion of each unit, you will you will respond in writing a 6 to 10 paragraph essay for the various essays that are assigned throughout the course. All right, and I'll get to that in just a little bit. Students' responses must include all the learning objectives that comprise the lecture associated with the following essay prompt. So let me really slow down on this. I'm going to go into detail in the next video, but this is what trips students up mostly in my class. Students that get this right from the get-go don't struggle at all in the course when they take the time to really focus on that. Each lecture is divided up into segments called learning objectives. Each learning objective has a prompt. The prompts comprise the response to the essay prompt. So there's an essay prompt, and to prepare for that essay prompt, there are various learning objectives. Some lectures have two learning objectives, some have 3, some have 4, some have up to 5 or 6 learning objectives. The average lecture has about 4 learning objectives. Each of those learning objectives, again, has a prompt. You want to respond directly to that prompt. Collectively, those learning objective prompts are the response to the essay prompt. It's just a way of making sure that students respond completely to the essay and not skip any of the important information. And all the information is provided to you. You don't need to do any outside research. It's all provided to you within the lecture. So responding. I'll go into a little bit more detail when we get to the next video. But just so you're aware, Exam 1 will have 25 questions from previous chapter quizzes, and they will be randomly selected. Right, so we'll have up to 3 or 4 chapters by then that'll be assigned. So those questions will appear again, randomly selected. There might be some new questions in that part of the exam because it's all coming from a test bank and it's randomly selected. And the next part of the exam will have 1 essay. It'll be randomly selected from these 3 lectures. And by then you will be assigned those lectures. So as you go, you want to prepare for each of these lectures. The essay prompts for Reconstruction, the West Place of Process, or Social Darwinism. One of these essays will be randomly selected. You will have 120 minutes to take the test. That's 2 hours. Must be taken in one setting. You may use your notes. Let me repeat that. You may use your notes. Just no electronic equipment. So no other cell phones, no other computers, just your notes. So it pays to prepare for each of these essays ahead of time, since that'll be the bulk of your grade for these exams. If you happen to miss this exam or you don't score as well as you wanted to, Exam 2 score will count towards Exam 1 minus 5%. So keep that in mind. Right? Sometimes you don't prepare as well as you need to, or the internet crashed on you the day you were going to take the exam and it's due that day. You can redeem your grade by just making sure you're prepared for the next exam. And if you just go through, it gives you the breakdown of each exam all the way through Exam 4. Course schedule is available here. So do print that out for yourself. Other than that, I think that's about it for the intro. Next video will give you a little bit more details about how to prepare for the lecture essays. Other than that, I will talk with you guys later. Do get me on Sally if you have any questions. Take care. Bye-bye.